Then we get to the rec credits, which is the interesting piece of all of this, which is why probably a lot of people are going to start to look at geo. We've heard of rec credits in solar. A lot of people went solar simply because there was a financial case for it. And for this particular home, they had, I believe, 23 rec credits, and the current price at the time of making this video is $93. And this is the one that's really interesting because the recs are annual when they sell those. I'm looking at a 6-year payback in the difference between a conventional system and a geothermal system.
You got it exactly right, but at the end of that period, that okay, it actually took 5 or 6 years to really break even. At the end of that, you're still getting those rec credits. That goes into perpetuity, and so you're going to get whatever the value of those rec credits are year after year after year after year in cash deposited into your account automatically.
All right, hi Richard. Thanks for joining me. I'm trying to get to the bottom of what is going on with geothermal incentives in Maryland. I know there's been a lot of recent developments there with rebates and rec credits, and I'd love for you to walk us through an example. So before we do so, can you just tell me in 30 seconds about your company and how long you've been involved in geothermal?
So thank you. North American Geothermal has been in business for 11 years, and we're the region's largest installer of geothermal equipment.
The alternative for that homeowner was to install another system, which was quoted at $15,000. Okay, so I verified that that's an accurate number for what was going to be replaced here. And the reason that I discounted it here was because heating and cooling the home is expensive, period, no matter how you do it. So I wanted to think, what was the difference? What's the extra or the premium that I'm paying for geothermal? So I subtracted the 15 that I otherwise may have had to spend or would have had to spend unless my family was going to go without heat and air conditioning. So that gets me to $30,000 in my quick math here. Then through different searches and talking with you, you said there's a state rebate, which I looked up. Maryland state rebate, $3,000 off of the install, the total install. The utility, there are multiple incentives depending on the utility, but that came out to $3,000 as well. And then finally, the big one is a 30% federal tax credit, which applies after these. So I just did quick math here to figure out that was $11,700, which then, and I apologize for my ugly sheet, but it brought me to $12,300 was the premium that I'm now paying for Geo. So instead of 30, in my head, I got it down to 12.
The rec credit thing is simple, really. We just have to gather information. We need to know what the square footage of the house is, including the basement. We need to know what type of equipment they have now, specifically what fuel they're using now. We need to know the age of their equipment. With that information, I can tell someone, exactly how many rec credits they would qualify for. And that's a certification that goes to the house and stays with the house. They sell the house still has a rec credit certification number, and those rec credits just roll on into perpetuity.
So it sounds to me like that, one, in some of my research into the rec credits, the less efficient your old system was, the more rec credits you're going to receive. So if you're burning oil in Maryland, absolutely check this out. If your system is old and going to fail, absolutely check it out. And if you plan to stay in the home a long period of time, absolutely check it out. And even if you don't, there are some potential benefits to the next buyer for it, but we'll leave all that aside. The introduction of the rec credit program, in addition to the state and utility rebates, really make now the most opportune time in Maryland to ever purchase a geo system.